pretty expensive, have babies. Number 2, buy real estate. That's why you get your principal home mortgage deduction. Put it on your Schedule E. You guys, real estate people are in the most select class of 80 taxpayers in the country aside from entertainers. You guys can write off almost everything. You also don't have any limits when you have 5 rental properties with paper losses of 200 grand. And you can write all 200 grand paper losses off depreciation. The average American only gets 0, maybe 25,000 if they don't have a property manager. So they want you to buy real estate. In partnerships, corps, rentals, your house, condos, okay? Buy real estate. Number 2, they want you to buy, why do they want you to buy real estate? Because it keeps you in this country and it makes the entire economy stable, because real estate is what interacts with everything else, the plumbers, landscaping guys, all that stuff, right? Third thing they want you to do, they want you to save for your retirement. That's why when you get a W-2 and have a 401k deduction, that's why it's not counted as part of your adjusted gross income for tax purposes. See, real estate agents are like kind of like drywall and kind of like window contractors, most of y'all. Have you ever seen when you do it, sometimes you guys have 1040s with Schedule Cs. Anyone that files a Schedule C with more than 50 to 80 grand or 2 years or more, you're insane, and your tax guy or gal is a moron. Because statistically in this country, wealth on the average of all citizenry is $94,500. In California, we need 250 grand just to pay the lease on the frickin', Audi, right? There's a lot of people in Alabama, brings the average down, right? Hattiesburg, Mississippi, I've lived all these places. Right? So there's people, so when your return goes in with that big fat Schedule C with that 1099 from your broker for 50, 80, 100, 150 grand, guess what? You're a target again. We want to be under the radar. The IRS wants you to save for your retirement, because what happens is a lot of people in the construction trades, they get to 40, 50 years of age, and guess what happens? They need Medicare, they're not working anymore, they need social services programs. Republican or Democrat, we just became what everybody hates on TV, a drain on the economy. Real estate agents need to save for their retirement. Seth, that's his job. I'm going to introduce him in about 3 minutes now. And this is the thing you need to understand. Tax skills take you 50 to 60% of the way, maybe 70. Okay, and it takes a very disciplined tax guy to tell you that and look you in the eye. I don't get licensed in insurance. I don't get licensed in financial products. Everyone in my industry does, and I think it's a scumbag thing to do. I think it's a conflict of interest, and shame on my industry. Like I said, I chaired the Silicon Valley and San Francisco Hispanic CPA chapters. I don't have a lot of friends in my industry because I'm very outspoken, as we can tell. You should wait if this was all CPAs in here. Ooh, on fire. Okay? But it's a conflict of interest if the guy who's doing your taxes is trying to tell you how much to put away for your retirement because he's getting a commission on the back end. You know what I mean? That's just not right. It's not right, but my industry lobbied and now it happens. Save for your retirement. Every dollar that you put into your retirement, and I'm not talking some lame-ass Bank of America Roth for, $1,000 or $1,500. I'm not talking about like, oh, I got some extra money. I'm not. After I go to the Vicente Fernandez concert, after I go to Vegas, after I take my kids to Disneyland, after we go to the flea market 15 times this year, okay, what do I have left for my retirement? That's not what I'm talking about. How much cash I got. I'm talking about, a program where every month or every quarter it's part of your plan. Okay? Something formal. Not something last minute, you're running a B of A, okay, give me a lollipop, where do I sign up for? Midnight, like I filed April 15th. Not that. Let's be smarter than that. The fourth thing the IRS wants you to do, which is probably the most important, is set up a business. A real one. Not a Schedule C where you're taking some lame home office deductions because you bought a computer at Best Buy and you went to IKEA and put a desk in the corner living room so you can keep an eye on your kids while you write up listing presentations. I don't mean that. I mean actually incorporating a business, signing up with ADP, getting an assistant and all of that. When you go from Schedule C Mickey Mouse Club business to actually being incorporated, you're going to be at a whole different level of tax deductions. That's what the IRS wants. They want you to do those 4 things. If you do those 4 things, you're less of a target, okay? You're much less of a target. Now, we started 10 minutes late, so I'm gonna have to skip the 5-6 minute segment so I can go to Nick about if you haven't filed.
You're okay on time.
Wait, I'm getting 2 messages. Shut up, talk quieter, and I'm okay on time. Which is okay.
Well, you inspired the FBI sent their agents, so they're outside, so
If Moses has his laptop, if he has his W-2, we can do that here.
Okay.
mind, go ahead and take the extra 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. So then let me cover this segment so I can hand it. So Nick and I can walk you through a video and the financial piece. Is that if you haven't filed, or you owe, whether you filed or not, there are 2 programs that were popular in the Clinton era that were created actually by the older Bush, and then under younger Bush, George W., they kind of went away, but they're back now with Obama. I mean, no one's really talking about them. But there are programs that exist as to how to fix you. The IRS wants to fix taxpayers. They want to get people filing and compliant, even more than they want to collect money from you. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Because there's so many people in the last market, imagine the real estate agents. My experience is that for every 10 agents I meet, real estate agents and brokers, 6 to 8 have a tax problem of some sort. That never happens in any other industry that I interact with. Software technology, when Bridge Bank sends me out to Seattle to meet with 3 companies, that doesn't have one of those guys. So I'm telling you this because I really want to start the thing with Nick, but what I want to tell you is that there are programs that exist. If you're with NAHREP and you can prove to our staff that your membership is actually paid, you can come in for a $350 an hour consultation for an hour and a half for free. Only for paid members though. And that's a favor for Armando, for Gary, and for David G. and Bruno, because I believe as a citizen of this country, we have to fix this industry. We have to get everybody fixed and get everybody compliant. And the problem with you guys as an industry is that you guys blew up in a lot of different ways than just, I lost a job and had to find a new one. Families broke apart, houses, rentals, people moved, documents were lost, brokerages that some of my agents work for no longer exist and they can't even get old 1099s, okay? But there's a program that exists where you can basically get a freeze on your account for Moses. What's the longest we've got? 90 days, 120 days? Okay, 90 days. Moses is the one that handles all the freezes and rattles. For 90 days, and in that time, the IRS will turn over to our firm or any firm that's licensed, bonded, registered with the IRS. You don't have to use me. You can go to H&R Block. Good luck. But they will turn over all the data they have on you, and they will give you a certain amount of time, and then now you have everything the IRS has on you. Okay? And so long as you file a 2012 extension, and probably don't file until October, so long as you file an extension for the current year that's due, they will basically freeze your account for 90 days and give you up to 30 days per year to get these returns done. And that's how you get compliant. And then there's about 4 other programs, depending on if you owe up to 25 grand, there's one. There's one if you owe up to, what's the next break? 125, right? When we go to ACS? 125? Yeah, 125. Then there's large balance unit, which is 250 and up, and then there's $1 million and up, Wesley Snipes kind of stuff, right? That's handled out of Philadelphia. So there's different service centers. So there's 4 different groups that you're going to be in, okay? And if you have any of those issues, we're not going to talk about it here. This is a confidential environment. If you have personal questions that relate to you or a client, we have a table downstairs. Another member of our staff will be joining us. You can approach me, Nick, Moses. If this isn't the environment, we'll just get your name, address, email, phone number. We can set up phone consults or in-person consults. If you want to hire us after that, we do estimates and all that, same thing with Nick. But what I want to tell you is that you have to understand these things because you people are going to be building the American economy. You're going to have clients in escrow, and a week before that deal's supposed to close, you're going to find out that they had a tax problem. I know you're not supposed to be a financial advisor, but I'm telling you, you've got to ask them in those opening questions when those offers get accepted. The buyer side, do you have any tax issues? I know you've been pre-qualified because the banks are just going to see if they qualify on those pre-quals based on the credit score and the debt to income and all that. They're not going to. It's an escrow that you find out about the liens and the levies and all that. So you need to ask them if they have any issues. Okay. All right. Now, assuming that those tax issues are only 50 to 60% of the ballpark, which is true. You need to find a financial planner and advisor that understands the 2 things that Nick's going to cover right now. So Nick Omer's firm works with high net worth clients, a lot of self-employed people. Nick, tell them how amazing your company is.
We're great. No, I'm just kidding. My name is Nick.